Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt Moda here with OddsJam, and in this video, what I'm going to be doing is using the OddsJam screen to identify my favorite player props for Week 10 of the NFL season. So I'm just using the screen, not using anything else. There are three that I've already identified that I really like, but using the screen, I could possibly find more. So I figured we might as well get into it. For those of you who have not yet seen this or used the screen, it's pretty simple. The way it works is you just pull up a market. So in this case, I have the player rushing yards, and it literally provides where every sportsbook is pricing this market at. So you can use it to identify outliers. Like, okay, what sportsbooks has a line that is mispriced, including the DFS sites, which are Prize Picks, Thrive, and then these two you can't see because my camera's blocking it, but they're Underdog. These two columns right here are both Underdog Fantasy. So it's a really good way to look at DFS plays as well. And let me show you exactly how it works. So my absolute favorite play that I found using the screen is this Saquon Barkley over 92.5 rushing yards. This is at minus 114 odds at BetRivers. So I would like to put a full unit on this one. We'll see how much BetRivers lets me get. So they have me limited to $5. We will see. I'm going to send the rest for approval, so we will see what they will accept. But regardless, the play that we are looking at here is Saquon Barkley over 92.5 rushing yards. And let's chat about this one. So let's look at the screen and what we see here. Sportsbooks price this from 92.5 to 94.5, all the way up to 97.5. So this 92.5, the reason why I like it so much, there's a couple things. Number one, look at where in Pinnacle Sportsbook is kind of the OddsJam line is kind of the source of truth when it comes to sports betting. They generally do the best job at pricing odds. So I like to use the OddsJam line to kind of set the market. They price the Saquon Barkley rushing yards 2 yards higher than what BetRivers has, and they heavily favor him going over this number. So not only do they price it higher, but they also favor him to go over this number. Pretty awesome price here, getting Saquon Barkley to go over 92.5 passing yards. We do see a couple other books price it at 92.5, but they price it a little bit heavier juiced, like Tipico has it at minus 115. Tipico has me limited as well, so couldn't even take it there. WinBet has it at 92.5, but they have it 11 to 10 cents higher at minus 125. Then every other book prices it above this amount. We see Prize Picks at 93. We see Thrive at 92.5. So this is another good play to take over 92.5 on Thrive. And then we see Underdog have it all the way up at 97.5, which is crazy. And then we see Betway, the far right here. Betway has it at 94.5 as well. So every book either has it priced for more expensive at 92.5, or they price this number above 92.5. Either way, this is a great play. Saquon Barkley over 92.5 rushing yards. I also like it for handicapping purposes. The Texans have the literal worst run defense in the entire NFL by a mile. We just saw Derrick Henry go over 200 yards on them 2 weeks ago. We saw the Eagles run to a ton of success on them last week. The only source of offense the Giants really have is Saquon Barkley, so he's probably going to get the ball a ton. He's probably going to have a ton of success. In that same game, another play I like is Dameon Pierce to go over his rushing prop as well. This is at minus 115 at Tipico. So I would like to put, I won't even be able to get $50 on it. I'd like to put a full unit. They normally don't even let me get more than like $10 on it, which is kind of upsetting. So this one, they did let me get $10, but it's the same exact logic here, right? OddsJam prices this a yard higher at 77.5, and they aggressively favor it going over. Not even slightly, aggressively favor it going over 77.5 at minus 161. DraftKings does another pretty good job with player props. They have it priced a yard higher at 77.5 as well, and they have it priced at also favoring the over at minus 130 odds. So another example of a pretty awesome play here that we are getting. Dameon Pierce over 77.5 rushing yards, or I guess over 76.5, at minus 115. The Giants also do a pretty poor job stopping the run. They're not as bad as the Texans, but they also struggle against the run. And the Texans give the ball to Dameon Pierce 1,000 times a game. He's another example of their only source of offense. Last week against a pretty good Eagles team, Pierce ran wild on them. So he'll probably get a ton of carries, probably have a ton of success. And another player that I like, and this is actually, we're going to go to the player passing yards prop. And the third one that I have previously identified that I really like, is Gino Smith to go under his passing yards prop, under 244.5. So the odds on this aren't ideal at BetMGM at -135, but it's such a good price. So I forgot to log in here. So while I'm logging in, just look at the lines here, right? 244.5 is what BetMGM has. No other book has it closer, or I guess the closest book I should say has it at 241.5. This is Caesars, heavily favors it going under. This is DraftKings, heavily favors it going under. This is Pinnacle, heavily favors it going under 244.5. So another example in which we can use the screen to identify outliers across the board. So let me go ahead and lock this one in. This is another play that I would like to put a full unit on, passing yards under 244.5. We will see how much BetMGM lets me get on this one, $8.15, which is very nice of them. But for those of you at home, this is another play that I would love to put a full unit on. And we see this is player passing yards, so obviously the numbers are going to be higher, but just look at the difference in what we see. We see all the way up at 244.5 and all the way down at 235.5. It's just wild the types of swings you can get when you just have everything on one market, everything on one page, and you just get to compare the sports books and see where they have everything priced. So this is going to be my third player prop for this video. There's also a couple other ones that I like. The Daniel Jones under passing yards as well, under 189.5 is a good one. Every other book prices it at 186 or 187, and Pinnacle prices it at 186 and they favor the under. DraftKings has it at 186 as well. So again, another play that I would like to get more on it than they will let me. The Daniel Jones passing yards, under 189.5. Yeah, under 189.5. We'll see if even let me get 15 on this one. No, so the limit is 10. This is my fourth player prop that I have locked in on this video using the screen. So that's going to be it for me today. Hopefully using the screen, it makes sense what we're looking for, identifying outliers, stuff like that. So 4 player props for you guys, but that's all I got. So I do appreciate you guys watching and have a good one.